Yo planner peeps, it's Kim Oderkoven, Krodesigns. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to do a quick setup with my Kinleigh's Doodles box. I have legit 2 hours to get out of the house on vacay, and I already know I'm packing way too much planner stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and use the contents you see on this table from Kinleigh's Doodles, and I'm going to set up this standard size traveler's notebook. It's just 2 strings, no pockets. It's going to be super simple and sleek. I'm going to put you on fast forward just a smidge. And then we're going to talk about it and do a flip through at the end. It's classic Krodesigns setup time. See you on the back end, guys. Time for me to clear off the decks and get out my self-healing cutting mat, which a lot of you have seen before. If you're brand new to my channel, you probably are like, what is that green thing? I use a rotary cutter and a self-healing mat with a clear omni-grid ruler. I'll link down below the supplies. I always find that it's easier to cut a nice piece of paper nice and straight doing it that way. The first thing I gravitated towards in this kit was that polka dotted craft paper-esque with the glitter doily. I don't know what it is about doilies and girls. They just are just one of those prime things that I always go for. Anyway, I went ahead and ripped it in half because I knew I didn't want to use it as a whole unit. I think that's a little overdone in the planner community, just in my humble opinion. Then, of course, I used some of my extra scrap paper from when I cut my inserts to the right size. And then I needed a grounding place for that. Oliver is his name with the wonderful books he's sitting on. I don't like when things are floating oh so much, so I always tend to ground them with another layer underneath. I loved this packaging because it was the same stripe, but yeah, I wanted it to just kind of offset it a little bit to like break up the aisle a little bit behind Oliver. And then here is the fun part. I love this little rose die cut that are included in the kit. And can I just say that Kinleigh's Doodles has upped their game on their die cuts. They are on much thicker paper, and so they really adhere well and don't flop around so much as they used to. I do adore using extra scraps, and so that's what I did. And I used a glue stick, and many of you may have noticed I do include now a tape runner. I know, it's kind of hard to break the habit. Old habits die hard, so I'm still using the glue stick quite a bit. But I did use a marker, and I just went over on top of the daily sticker that is included in the kit with just some handwriting. I thought it would add a little bit more of element of texture to it. And then I wasn't such a big fan of the white space around the rose and or Oliver in the books, so I just traced around it with a black marker, and then I just dotted around it with it as well. 1 done, 2 to go. So now I've got this one, and I was like, you know what, those are the same pattern, and I wanted to line them up a little bit, but kind of off center. So what I did was just lined it up and then ripped around the roses so they had some sort of like a mirror effect. I thought it turned out fine. I just really wanted to make sure I showcased the pattern in the paper and the vellum as well. And so I just ripped and twisted, and there you go. Not too hard. Then I took my glue runner. Yes, my glue runner. Because if you use glue stick with if you use a glue stick with vellum, it tends to wrinkle, and it really drives me crazy sometimes. And today was one of those days I did not need another element of crazy because I had 2 hours to get out of the house. And so all I did was use the tape runner on the edges and made sure it was nice and secure. And if you'll notice, I left a few extra parts unglued on the front because I really wanted to add this element of packaging, and I didn't want to bulk it up so much, so I ripped off the back cardboard part of the packaging so it felt a little bit lighter. And then I had the extra bird tail part, and I said, why not, let's add it to the other side so it looks kind of like it's in and out of the vellum. So I decided to use that bow, and I just wanted to add those check mark boxes, kind of like a washi strip. Can I just say how I love those, the way they're detailed cut out? It adds just a little bit of extra to the kit, don't you think? I love those check boxes. Wanted to kind of use it as a washi strips, and then added a few more elements on the top with that washi tape, just putting it out as a diagonal. And you'd think that mixing up all of these patterns would make it kind of cray-cray, but it really does balance the bottom and the top together. Again, I added with my marker just a few ticks around that bow as well. Oh, I wasn't quite done. I needed to add the tab, which I kind of try to match it up with the insert cover itself. And then in the kit are these gray textured insert cover vinyls. I know they're supposed to probably intended for the actual insert itself, but like I've ever used anything for what it's intended to anyway. But I was really worried about the top layer peeling off the paper when you're adhering that vinyl down, and it didn't bother it at all. I was very pleasantly surprised. Very well put together. It was a great addition to the box. All right, insert cover 2 was done. I did want to cut up this hello April. I just wanted to kind of get rid of the April part just in case I extend using this into May. Plus, I don't usually use things as a whole unit anyway. I did want to use my tape runner to get some of these elements down, and I wanted to use that doily, but not in its full capacity yet again. So I was like, okay, let's use it as like a background photo corner-esque accent. But then I knew how harsh and black it was, so I wanted to use that pattern paper behind to kind of break up the lightness and the dark and kind of give it a middle ground, so to speak. Then I just adhered it with my tape runner, and I went ahead and put it underneath Oliver in the corner. Knew I needed something to balance Oliver and that black doily out, so I chose an extra piece of pattern paper, just a square one, to break up that background just a little bit. And then I knew I needed to put something in the corner, and I finally decided on another piece of vinyl and this cute little umbrella die cut that comes in the kit as well. And then I needed one little last piece of an element that went in the corner, kind of next to Oliver. That little square part next to the black really was driving me crazy. Yeah, shocking. Yeah, sometimes I'm really fastidious about things, and some things I need to let go. And I think I was already in such a high stress situation, knowing I needed to get this done, that everything was paramount. Anyway, it wasn't a perfect point on there as well, so I had to trim it off. Yeah, type A sometimes gets me into trouble, and I feel really bad about it, but the end ended up being one of my most favorite ones that I did today, because I added so many elements to it. So I added those page flags on top as well as the bow sticker, and then I was finally finished. So the one thing that bugs me that I always forget to do is my tabs, and then I'm always flipping, trying to find my thing. So I made a point to put my tabs in on my insert covers this time. Then I secretly went over and looked at the clock, and I was like, oh, 25 minutes left. Oh, well, I guess I'll do some backside judging. So what I did was, and I'm so glad I did, because this Traveler's Notebook didn't have any pockets. So I went ahead and took the extra part that I ripped for that one of the front covers, and I just adhered it on 3 sides to make a pocket for some of the stickers. Now, I was planning to do like something I did like last time, where you cut a slit and then you put it on the sticky note. Well, this time I was just like, well, I'm using the tape runner. I'm just going to tape these suckers down. I don't have time to mess with slits and stuff, which is a great thing, because again, I don't have pockets. I don't know where I would put my sticky notes anyway. And I couldn't let another setup go by without another tag making Krodesigns special. It did irk me. I did have to cut a brand new piece of pattern paper. I didn't have any scraps left, but I did use some packaging, so I felt better about that. Yes, I will live and survive another day without using another scrap of paper. The die cut tag did come in the kit as well. So that was a really fun thing to do, and I'm saving that hunter boot for the top of this tag. Just stack them up, use your tape runner, and then I did grab some seam binding and some black and white twine that I thought would look really fun on the top of this. And I didn't think the colors would go together, but they worked out well. So sometimes that green mat drives me nuts, and this is where I'm at. If I know I'm done doing big cuts and I can just use my scissors, I get rid of it because it's just too green, way too green. I need like a white one with like gray lines, but you know what? They don't make them. Anyway, I added another piece of vinyl, a tag, and then that cute little paper clip came in the kit as well. So that turned out to be a really fun tag. All right, timer just went off, and trust me, I'm not lying. I really probably should go to the Dollar Tree and get a timer so you guys can see that I'm not lying. Honestly, 1 hour's gone by. I'm gonna take my yearly insert and my May insert that I have for here, putting that together, and put that on here. It feels so naked, you know what I mean? Like, so thin. All right, I'm gonna get over it. And here's my tag. I really wish I could do something on the inside cover. All right, so here's the plan. I really, really, really want to dress up the inside of my planner, so I'm going to use this vellum, and I found some glue dot refillable temporary dots. All right, wish me luck. And this is probably why I love experimenting so much, because I am in love with the way it turned out. As you can see from the paint on the inside, it was already ruined anyway, so it's not like I would have made anything different. So the temporary adhesive probably will come off. I might not take it off for quite some time, but I did have to cut that one piece of paper into 2 rectangles because I forgot about the flexibility that was needed on the spine. That way I can have a little bit of fun on the inside, and if it falls out, no biggie, but it looks super cool right now, and I'm very happy about it. And then I can attach anything I want to it. Am I in the middle? Nope. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my inserts back in. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. So good. I'm so pleased with it. And then I'm going to make myself just a smidge of a pocket here, and with this acetate, and then I'm good to go. That's so cool. I'm so pleased with the way it turned out. I've cleaned off the decks and I'm ready to show you how this finally turned out. I think this inside piece with the vellum is going to work out great. Adds a little bit of texture and color to the inside of the planner. Love this pocket. And then who doesn't love a little tag? And it takes so little time to do it. Everyone should make a tag with their scraps. It's my humble opinion. So the front page here, I've got my daily section. Love the doilies. Those turned out great. Backside, I've got my sticky notes. Looks kind of plain, but I love the way it contrasts with all of this pattern here on the monthly view. Backside here is that vellum that I ripped. On this side, I love the doily, and I love all of these insert covers. I know you're supposed to put it on your inserts, but I love it right there on the insert cover. And then I've got my pocket with my extra acetate here. And on the back side, I did add another pocket here on top of the vellum. And I made myself a laminated bookmark with some washi tape stuck on top and on both sides, because I am not bringing any washi tape with me. So that is going to be what it is. All right, and that'll fit in the back pocket if I'm not using it for a bookmark. All right, guys, thanks so much. I've got to edit this video and jet. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.